This is Justin Stoner with Social Media FAQs, where no question is a dumb question unless it just doesn't get asked and answered. I don't know if that's a good beginning. Anyways, this is Justin Stoner with Social Media FAQs. All right, today we're going to answer the question that I hear a lot: how often do I post on social media? Now, when somebody says that, I immediately default to how often do I post to Facebook, because that's the platform people use the most, especially when it comes to marketing. More and more people are getting into Instagram. Some people still use Twitter. So this advice probably would vary depending on the platform, but let's just look at Facebook right now. Ideally, if you are posting for a business, you want to post once a day. Twice a day would be phenomenal, but I don't know if people have the bandwidth to do that because their time is valuable and they get busy doing other things. And a lot of people have trouble just posting once a day or even, a few times a week. So ideally, the minimum amount you would want to post is about 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You pick what days work best for you based on when your customers are most engaged and will engage with you. So 3 times a week is bare minimum, and you need to be consistent with that. So a lot of people, it's not just how often I post to my social media. Really what they're saying is, I have a hard time dreaming up something often enough to stick to a schedule. Okay, so really if that's the underlying problem, then here's the underlying solution. If you're wanting to post 3 times a week, you need to have a plan. Don't fly by the seat of your pants. Don't wait until you sit down at your keyboard to dream up what you're going to post. Ideally, depending on your industry, you could come up with categories, themes for different days of the week. So Mondays might be Motivational Monday, and you post a pretty picture with a motivational quote. And Wednesday is, some consumer tip or something like that, or new product, new service, new staff member that you've hired. And Friday could be, sharing an article that's important to your industry or to your customers that highlights something that will prompt them to understand more about you, your business, and the value that you provide to them. So picking themes should be very helpful, because then you can sit down and plan out a month ahead. So you got 4 Mondays in a month, and every Monday is a motivational. So you need 4 motivational quotes, 4 motivational pictures. Plan those out, schedule them into your social media feed, and you've got it. So themes should really help alleviate a lot of the guesswork and help with scheduling your social media posts. Now, along with that, I would suggest that you mix up your media. So pictures and words, Facebook, if you keep it under a certain amount of characters, they will supersize the letters, and that's very effective for some people. They pick short quotes and they post it on Monday, and the letters are supersized so they stand out more than just a text status report otherwise. But if you're going to put a lot of text, you definitely need a picture or a video to go along with it. And so mixing up your media types is really important when it comes to your social media feed, because you want to give your customers, your audience, a lot of variety in what they see from you. Now, I'd mentioned earlier picking themes and then scheduling things out, 4 Mondays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Fridays. That sounds a lot more manageable than sitting down at a computer and trying to create something out of thin air day after day or week after week. And that will help you stick to a more consistent schedule and connect with your audience in a way that will keep them engaged with you. Now, as much planning as goes into social media posting, you also need to plan for spontaneous events, because there are things that happen in the life of your business that are fun, they're interesting, they are out of the things that you didn't necessarily expect, and you want to have a plan to capture that moment so that you can use it in social media down the road. So you need to have a checklist available to you at any time. Heaven forbid a celebrity walk into your shop and want to buy a cupcake and you can't find your camera, or you can't remember what app you want to use to capture audio or video, or you name it. So you need to have a little bit of a checklist. Not that celebrities are your planning for spontaneity, but you never know. You do need to have a little bit of a framework that you will operate under, knowing that, okay, I want to take pictures and I want to have the people facing the front window because the light comes in from there and that will illuminate their face. Whereas if they stand in front of the bright window and I take the picture, they're going to be backlit and their faces are going to be dark and the picture is going to look terrible. So it's things like that. It's really getting down to the logistics and knowing how you want to capture that moment and where you might be posting it. If it's something you want to post to Instagram, if it's a video, you want to keep it short. You want to keep it, a minute or less. Not that you can't, record more than that, but just keeping those things in mind. You might have a really satisfied customer that comes in. So you want to have that camera available that, maybe they don't want to be filmed, but, they're happy to pose with you with a thumbs up as a testimonial picture. Or, some kind of frivolity breaks out among your staff. They, bust into a new dance move in costume on a holiday or something like that. Just, trying to capture the unexpected goodness that goes on in the life of your business is really fun and engaging for your fans and followers. And then finally, I would say, as you're posting more consistently and you have a plan for what you're posting, pay attention to the analytics. Facebook lets you do this. It'll tell you who saw your post, how many liked it, how many commented, how many shared, how many people it reached. So as you're looking at those numbers, try to imagine what is working and how you could tweak what you're doing so that it gets more attention, gets more followers, more likes, and then adjust for that. Use what works is my final bit of advice. So how often to post? Minimum 3 times a week, ideally once a day. I would say start out with 3 times a week and get into that cadence. And as you get things scheduled out far enough, you might find that it's easy to throw in a Tuesday post or a Friday post or a Sunday or Saturday post. And you'll start to slowly ramp up your frequency and engage with your audience in a more effective and consistent way. Thanks again for listening.
You ready? Let's go!